Sophia Carter never imagined she'd sign a contract that would change her life forever. A soft-spoken art teacher living in a quiet Seattle neighborhood, Sophia's world was filled with color, creativity, and calm, until the day a sterile boardroom meeting shattered that normalcy. Across the mahogany table sat Grayson Locke, young, sharp-jawed, and impossibly composed. A self-made tech millionaire, Grayson had everything: power, wealth, and women who lined up for his attention. But he didn't want love, he said. He didn't even want companionship. He wanted an heir. "I'm not interested in romance," Grayson had said coldly, folding his hands. "This is a business agreement. No strings. No emotions. Just a baby." Sophia stared at the man who had offered her more money than she'd ever dreamed of, enough to change her life, help her ailing mother, and finally open her long-imagined community art center. And all he wanted in return was for her to carry his child. Nothing else. No co-parenting. No future involvement. Clinical, detached, and clear. And yet, there was something in his eyes, something lonely. Hollow. Like a man with too much money and not nearly enough warmth. Sophia signed. The agreement was simple. Sophia would undergo IVF, carry the child to term, and then relinquish parental rights. A team of lawyers had it all spelled out. There would be no contact between them after the birth. It was to be a clean cut. But life, as it often does, had other plans. The pregnancy began smoothly. Grayson remained distant, checking in only through his assistant. Still, Sophia often wondered about him. He'd built $1 billion company from his garage. He was a recluse in a mansion. A man everyone wanted but no one seemed to know. Then, during her 3rd month, something unexpected happened. Sophia collapsed in the middle of a grocery store. Low blood pressure. Dehydration. Stress. When she opened her eyes, she was in a private hospital suite. Grayson sitting beside her bed, looking different. Concerned. Human. "You scared me," he murmured, more to himself than to her. "I thought this was just a transaction," she said weakly. Grayson didn't answer. But he didn't leave either. From that moment on, he became involved, subtly, then significantly. He began attending appointments, bringing fresh fruit to her house, and offering gentle support in moments she didn't even realize she needed. At first, she resisted. This wasn't supposed to happen. This wasn't part of the deal. But the walls between them, once so tall and cold, began to crack. He asked her about her art. She shared her dreams of opening a community center for underprivileged kids. He admitted he had grown up poor, invisible in a house full of anger. His empire, he confessed one night, was built to prove to the world, and maybe to himself, that he was worthy of love. "Love scares me," he whispered. "It never stayed. It always hurt." Sophia's heart softened, not from pity, but understanding. She, too, had been abandoned by her father at a young age. She, too, knew what it was like to crave security and grow walls instead. By the 6th month, their connection was undeniable. One night, during a quiet evening walk outside his estate, Sophia placed his hand on her growing belly. "She kicked," she said with a smile. Grayson's eyes welled. For the first time, the man who had promised no emotion let the mask slip. And when he looked at her, it was no longer with detachment. It was wonder. Reverence. But fear still lived inside him. "I don't know how to love right," he told her. "I destroy things." "You don't need to be perfect," she said. "You just need to be present." Then came the night of the emergency. Sophia went into early labor at 32 weeks. The doctors rushed to save both mother and child. Grayson, panicked and pale, waited outside the OR, fists clenched, eyes hollow. When the doctor emerged hours later, Grayson's world stopped. "She's stable," the doctor said. And so is your daughter. Your daughter. Grayson wept. In the weeks that followed, he never left Sophia's side. He held their premature daughter, skin to skin, for hours each day. He read baby books aloud. He apologized, over and over, for ever thinking he could keep feelings out of this. One quiet morning in the hospital, while Sophia held their daughter and sunlight spilled across her face, Grayson knelt beside her. I don't want a contract, he said. I want a family. I want you. Sophia stared at him, heart pounding. You promised no feelings, she whispered, smiling through tears. I was wrong, he said, voice trembling. I didn't know love until you gave me 2 miracles. Please, let me earn your heart. Sophia didn't answer right away. She looked down at the tiny hand curled around her finger. Then at the man who had transformed before her eyes. I'm not here for your money, Grayson, she said. But if you're ready to love, fully, honestly, then maybe, we already are a family. And that was the moment Grayson Locke, billionaire, loner, the man who had built walls taller than his empire, realized the richest thing he'd ever received wasn't in stocks or property. It was in the quiet strength of a woman who carried his child, showed him compassion, and taught him to love without fear. Together, they raised their daughter in a home filled not with marble or gold, but with laughter, late-night lullabies, and the hum of a piano Sophia finally had time to learn. And in the heart of the city, in a bright corner building covered in murals, stood the Carterlock Community Arts Center, a gift from Grayson to Sophia, and to every child who needed color in a world too often gray. Sometimes, the most unexpected promises birth the greatest love stories.